through you. I will hold you just for a while. Die with a smile. World was mine. I'd wanna be next to you, right next to if the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over, the nighttime on earth is through, I'd wanna hold you just for a while, and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. I wanna be next to you. Yay. Okay. Hey. Oh, shoot. Yeah. It's a Sunday. It's a fun day. We still haven't paid for YouTube because I decided to make the decision. So, hey, let's have some fun time. TLDR, it is the elder brother's birthday today. So I'm going to Sonic speed this one. We're going to be all right. We have the time. We have the fun. Buenos dias. I see we have a couple of mates hanging around. Welcome aboard. Hamster fan. Hamsters are pretty cool, huh? So, if that sounds very intriguing and very mucho tanoshimi, then let's strap in. Let's have a good time. Let's have some fun. It's news of the week. Ikimashou. Doing a thing. Of course. Hi. Okay, here we go. Tanoshimi. Right? Here we go again. I don't wanna be more than friend. Don't take it easy on me, I'm a friend. You're never satisfied. Here we go again. It's like animals, we break pretend. Just a cannibal, and I'm afraid I won't get out alive. No, I won't sleep tonight. I want some more. What are you waiting for? Take a bite of my heart tonight. Some more. What are you waiting for? Take a bite of my heart tonight. Bite of my heart tonight. Here we go again. I feel the chemicals kicking in. It's getting heavier, I wanna run and hide. I wanna run and hide. I do it every time. You're killing me now. And I will be denied by you, the animal inside of you. I want some more. What are you waiting for? The bite of my heart tonight. I want some more. What are you waiting for? What are goodbye to my heart tonight. Hush, the world is quiet. Hush, hush, we both can't fight it. It's us that made this mess. Why can't you understand? Oh, I won't sleep tonight. Sleep. Here we go again. Of my heart tonight, oh, I want some more, oh, what are you waiting for, what are you waiting for, say goodbye to my heart tonight. Say goodbye to my heart tonight. Oh, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Say goodbye to my heart tonight. Wow. Now if the ads don't play, now we get to the fun part. Sheesh. Thank you, hamster fan. How many? Oh, don't worry about it. I appreciate that. I really saw abs, and I thought that was unnecessary, but fairly relevant considering that gym day was yesterday. And yes, they do hurt. So, uno mas. Damn, we got this. We got this. How are you? I'm excited. Thank you so. Well, fair enough. Tell the kids weather change is good. Spring is here again. Reproductive land is the one in the likes of predator. Likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun, but he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means when I say he's the one. Likes all our pretty song, and he likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun, but he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means when I say we can have more. Nature is more. Roses on the fruit, tender age and love is the one. Likes all our pretty song, and he likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun, but he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means when I say he's the one. Likes all our pretty songs, and he likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun, but he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means when I say shoot his gun, but he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means when I say he's the one. Likes all our pretty songs, and he likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun, but he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means when I say knows not what it means. Knows not what it means when I say yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh.
Yay! Wanna make karaoke like
Love that guy. Rest in peace, Kurt. I'm gonna let it right out. Rest in peace, Kurt. Rest in peace, Kurt Cobain. But yes, Doritos. Man, Lady, Joseph, Jesus, Mary. That is a fun time. So thank you for enjoying that. Thank you. You're welcome. Got to go. Appreciate you while the time lasted. And we are here enjoying this. But don't worry. So do I with us. Because your boy will be back. But for now, I leave you in the very capable hands of one. Is news anchor, our boy Okami Stitch. So I'll catch you all in the future, and we'll see you in a couple. So, ja, mata ne. As let's keep it fly, man. You know how it is. We just play it on the lo-fi and have a good time. So, hello, welcome on board. It is your boy, Okami-san, and we're excited. You know, summer is here. It's honestly, I would say it's almost over. I was talking to the mates, and they were distracted by Baldur's Gate, but summer usually ends after Anime Expo, but it turns out there's so much happening. I have to go watch Pierce the Veil. That's it. It's gonna be a good time. And yeah, it turns out it's still around us. The heat wave is alive. We are sweating it out. We're being alive. We're being cool. But there's another fever going around the universe. Yes, Doritos. That is GTA 6. Because GTA 6 had the strongest pre-order campaign on record. It's tracked to sell 37 to 51 million in week 1. And the analytics firm says this is by Chris Scullion over at the VGC Video Games Chronicle. Video game market data research insights says this firm has released new analysis of first week pre-orders. According to analysis, 880 million was spent on digital pre-orders across the US and five largest European markets. Okay. Player distribution, GTA as a guide, Newzoo has estimated total global spending around 260 million in the first week of pre-orders. Quote, that kicks off the strongest pre-order campaign ever recorded, end quote, the firm concluded. The company has also used this data to predict first week sales for Grand Theft Auto 6 when it's released in November. According to Newzoo, hit titles usually follow these sales curves. The brand new IP, which has low pre-orders and takes off after reviewers come in. This, quote, sequel with performance uncertainty, where players wait to see if a specific sequel is good before buying. And, quote, proven sequel, where more pre-orders are booked early. The firm suggests GTA 6 will follow the proven sequel model and predicts by the first week pre-order sales account roughly for 5.8 of total sales. Damn. By the end of the game's actual launch week. Within that model in mind, Newzoo believes the game on pace to reach 4.5 billion sales by the end of the first weeks on sale, meaning roughly 51 million copies sold. Quote, tremendous. The company notes that this is because GTA 6 is the most anticipated game of all time. The pre-orders and could be more front-loaded than usual, but suggests that even this is taken into account of the games that could still be looking at around 3.3 billion in sales by the end of the first week, or around 37 million units sold. Quote, contrary to social media reports, GTA 6 has not done $1 billion in pre-orders 21 weeks out. Newzoo analyst says this is absurd. Given how pre-orders curves look, nothing ever has and nothing ever will in the near future. Quote, with the data actually shows is 180 million in digital pre-orders spent across the US and 5 largest European markets in the final week of June, translating to a global opening week of roughly 260 million, with most of the ramp still ahead. Quote, Run that with a figure through the plausible band of pre-order curves, and GTA 6 is on track to book between 3.25 billion and 5.2 billion in week 1 launch revenue. Even at the most controversial reading, namely that GTA 6 front loads harder than any major title in our dataset, it lands at a tremendous number by a historical standard. Any historical standard. So what does that mean to the universe? Well, I don't know, man. All we know is that GTA 6 is launching, and it is going to be a PlayStation exclusive. The rumors state that it may only run 30 frames on PS5 Pro, which is the quote-unquote the machine to play it on. And none of that matters. You know what I mean? Now, I'd like to give the universe a bit more of like a leeway to be like, oh, people care about certain aspects, and certain people don't care about certain piece of aspects. They've been trained, they're used to like, living a certain way. That's fine. But then you come around and you think about how like either the game industry, the game market, right, is so starved for something that's worth the purchase. Like, off the top of my head, I can't remember a game that launched in 2026 that everybody was like, "Oh shit, we gotta play that." The closest thing I think we could get to that was James Bond on Xbox, but even then, that's like a very it didn't hit like as something like I don't know, maybe like an Uncharted, which is what I'm pretty sure they were going for. And so I'm going to give the universe a bit more leeway, hopefully stating that they have more self-control than that, or at least they would have, except for the fact that there has been no freaking game this year in the PS5 right era as it is. So when somebody like Rockstar GTA 6 rolls up and goes like, "Listen, man, you guys either take it for what it is or you can continue like not enjoying anything," right? Then yeah, I guess $100 doesn't seem as valuable as what you're getting out of the proposition, which is again somewhat concerning. And it just goes to show why competition, not in the disastrous like, oh, we're gonna break each other's legs or knees type of way, but like in a encouraging the other to like go above and beyond, because they know there's something else that the quote unquote customer slash the guest slash the experiencer can experience if you sort of stop caring about the product, which is what I feel that we're at right now. I'm not saying that GTA doesn't have the stuff. I'm not saying that it's obviously not a technical marvel, but like I don't know, fam. Like I'm set waiting, like not till Jesus Christ, not till PC, but like yeah, something along those lines, like something more towards a PC route, or at least something where it gets like fixed and everything is great. 1 pesos, yeah, man, I'll pay 1 peso for that. I'll give you 1 peso for GTA 6. So yeah, and that's kind of the joke too, right? Because like if you look at the PSN right now, or at least in the past month or whatever, I bet you could find GTA 5 for like $5. I swear I've seen it that cheap at some point, at some time in the universe, which goes to show that they're making money on the front end of it. That's what they're banking on. So that's good, I guess. But the issue comes from like setting the precedent, which is GTA 6, i.e., why everybody gets out of the way of the GTA 6 release date, because nobody wants to get near its launch date. But that also kind of like removes the ambition from everyone else to do something, which is again how you get a full year without any notable game release that we can look at and be like super impressed by. But it's we've been waiting for this for years. People knew that this was gonna happen. Everybody put the writing on the wall and said, "Look, this is gonna sell out. It doesn't matter how much they priced it. If anything, they put it as the same price as Mario Kart, whatever fucking game that's called on the new Switch, which is absurd that Nintendo thinks that's the same price as GTA 6, but that is the world that we live in. So you, you do you. If you really, 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 really need to play GTA 6, then go for it. That's all you, man. You're more than welcome to enjoy your life. I'm just, again, chilling. I'm at the point where, like, I can wait till it's going to be on sale. Even if it's not, it's only going to be $80. It should never go up. If at any point this game price goes up, then we have a different problem. But as of right now, I'm good on waiting till it's whatever. But hey, you never know. And that's your GTA info of the week. But you know what else is a summer blockbuster? Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Nolan said it will be at least 3 years before we see his next film, after The Odyssey pushed him to his limits. This is by Wesley Yinpo over at IGN. Nolan has said his fans won't see his next movie for less 3 years after directing The Odyssey. Nolan has established a pretty reliable cadence of releasing a movie every 3 years since Interstellar came out in 2014. Odyssey arrives 3 years after his Oscar-winning Oppenheimer, which itself released 3 years after Tenet came out in 2020. Tenet arrived 3 years after Dunkirk, which came out 3 years after Interstellar. Before Interstellar, Nolan was releasing movies on a more or less 2-year cadence, with The Prestige, Inception, and Dark Knight trilogy all coming out within a prolific 7-year period. Noise. Following Memento, Insomnia, Batman, Prestige, Dark Knight, Inception, Dark Knight, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet, Oppenheimer, Odyssey. Today, Nolan asked if it would be another 3 years before his next release, and the director replied, "Oh, at least." The answer, delivered with a knowing chuckle, perhaps signals that Nolan plans a longer gap between Odyssey and his next film than we have seen in recent years, maybe with a break in mind. And who could blame him? I definitely hit the limits of my own stamina and everybody's stamina, I think. Quote, he said of making The Odyssey. I mean, it's The Odyssey. Of course, it should be difficult. We're not doing the job right if a film of The Odyssey if it doesn't seem difficult, end quote. Clearly, The Odyssey was a huge effort for everyone involved. It's his first movie ever shot on IMAX 70mm, which involves using heavy and loud cameras. It was shot almost entirely with practical effects and are really in that horse. And some instances in remote location casts the crew would have hiked to. Damon himself has discussed how tough it was filming The Odyssey, which he said it had a profound effect on them. Quote, if I look objectively at what was required to do that job, I think I came at just the right time in my life, he revealed. Quote, I think it would have been miserable 20 years ago trying to do that job because you were comfortable every day, but I really deeply enjoyed every minute of it, end quote. Noise. Even though The Odyssey is just hit theaters, it's natural to wonder what Nolan's next film might be. 20 years ago, he was attached to a feature version of 1960s TV series The Prisoner, which starred Patrick McGoohan as his title role. As fan of the original Soul, I'd love to see Nolan's take on it. The Prisoner revolves around Number 6, a British intelligence agent who is abducted and imprisoned in a mysterious coastal village after reassigning from his position. It's a show packed with misdirection, obfuscation. You're never really sure what's going on or who to trust. I imagine Prisoner would be right up Nolan's street. On the other hand, IGN's Cardi has argued that Odyssey's scariest scene proves it's time for a Christopher Nolan horror movie. Yes, after having seen The Odyssey myself, I can understand why he'd think that. If Nolan takes a bit of time before plotting his next move, perhaps we'll see his next film in 2030. Or maybe he'll find himself restless even after the exertion of Odyssey and aim for yet another 3-year gap and a 2029 release date. Okie dokie. For now, Odyssey. Yay. So yeah, man. Thinking about okay. Let's talk about it. I went to go see The Odyssey in 70mm yesterday, and it's impressive. It's genuinely impressive. You know it's IMAX because normally in the IMAX movie, quote unquote, up until now, you'll have scenes where it has the 9:16 frame, and then out of nowhere it switches into a full 1:1 square frame, and that's how you know that's an IMAX shot being shot, and you could see that. But with this film, every shot is that big old square, that 1-to-1 framing, and you can see that like the detail that comes out of that camera is incredibly insane, because essentially they're using a humongous like original Kodiak camera to snap each picture as it moves. And from there is what he's using to build the visual that we put in the screen. And it was crazy to see like how like meticulous and how dedicated he is to that craft, specifically just creating an IMAX, because he wants all the realism, all the detail, and it goes to show just how serious about this craft this person is. And I'll never forget reading about how Matt Damon and Christopher Nolan were like talking about how Damon was on that boat, he's getting blasted by water, and he's like, wow, this is kind of hard. And then he looks up and it's fucking Christopher Nolan, fucking all drenched and like blasted with water, and he's there with his actors. He is there capturing the moment. That is what it means to him to create art. So for him to do all of that and to be able to be like, they filmed all of it in 6 months, I believe is what Damon said. But to do all that and to get all the processing done and to have to be able to be like, you know what, that's great, let's take a break, like I need my time, is quite the inspiration. I think as a universe we're also used to people going like, oh, you need a hustle, man, you need a hustle culture, you need to keep on pushing, you gotta keep on uploading, you gotta do blah, 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 blah. And that is a rat race. you know so it's refreshing to see someone who has such a powerful craft and is dripping in pure talent when it comes to deciding to create a project and committing to that project. That when a person like that, you can see someone on the echelon of their artisticness or whatever, just decides to turn around and step away from the whole project, step away from the whole quote unquote like the role of being a maestro, the role of being a director, the role of being an artist. And instead of doing that, they just take a time and said, no, it's time to stop, and this is my time, and I'm gonna go hang out with my family. I'm gonna go kayaking. I'm gonna go do what I want to do for myself. That to me is more inspirational than someone who is unfortunately killing themselves or whatever, just to get something completed. But regardless, there is a way, there is a will, there is a way, there is a path, and we are grateful for it. So I am very, very thankful for the Odyssey. I genuinely love that film. It's incredible to think that in my brain I could have imagined such visuals as a young little potato child, and to see this man just like actually go at it and be like, yeah, I can do that but better. I'm like, okay, you got me, fam. And yeah, it was an adventure all the way. Definitely go check it out. So, but if you needed more inspiration, Uma Musume Pretty Derby franchise world tour concert performance comes to Los Angeles in October 2020 to 23rd, 22nd to 23rd. This is by Alex Mateo over at Anime News Network. Side Games, Uma Musume announced on Thursday that Uma Musume World Tour, 7th event World Tour, stage global tour will come to Los Angeles Peacock Theater on October 22nd and October 23rd at 7 p.m. Tickets for live concert performance go on sale July 23rd at 10 p.m. True Stage, nice. Day one, you got the voice actresses all playing their little respective horses. Hell yeah. Tokai Teiko, do we know these people? I don't think so. Cute. All right. I think I know that one. No. Black? No. Kita-san. Yeah. Jungle Pocket. Tour has its first event in Tokyo on June 20th. Tour will have stops in Los Angeles, London, Seoul, and Yokohama. This marks the first time franchise live musical events will be performed globally. 6th event in New Frontier ran in Saitama. Uma Musume Derby launched in February 2021, and the game was released in Slade in winter 2018, delayed until the raised game's quality. Game launched in 2021. Alrighty. game launched in English for Android devices in 2025. That was last year. Game won Best Mobile Game at the Game Awards 2025 event last December. Wow. Very cool. So, if in case you are a big fan, or in case you are in need of some true horse girl inspiration, then yeah, you got yourself a pretty Uma Musume tour thing. And yeah, you know what? This is the one time. This is like the one few times where like I feel that this event is completely justified. Because one of the whole shticks is that they have like a little tour where they sing, right? So for the idea that they're gonna go to stage and sing for the fans as their horse little cosplay characters, I think is a really like inspired creation. And I'm pretty sure whoever came up with Uma Musume kind of like came up with that whole concept really early on. So shout out to them for having a vision. You know what I mean? And if that's your carrot on a stick, then go have fun, enjoy yourselves, live a little. Unless you're from China, because one country is already trying to outlaw people from falling in love with AI chatbots. This is by Zach Kotzer over at Kotaku. I've never seen this movie. AI's bots are now required by law to inform you that it's not you, it's them. New regulations introduced this month. The Chinese government is instructing major tech firms such as Alibaba, ByteDance, and Minmax to prohibit flirtatious behavior from their AI products, hoping to stem behavioral issues related to robot romantics. Quote, they don't like the idea of large portions of the population being in deep emotional relationships with chatbots. Carneades Matt Sheeman tells the Wall Street Journal. Quote, that could have negative psychological impacts on them. That could lead to addiction, dependency, and a whole bunch of other social ills. This is very true, by the way. While the Wall Street Journal attributes the new rules slumping birth rates, think of the children. A fuller scope reported by economists shows China is hoping to cut a wide range of AI psychosis at the pass. Some laws mirror those already introduced in parts of the United States, such as New York banning minors from using AI companions or requiring that they regularly remind users that they aren't real. Other rules are more comprehensive, reducing human-like, don't worry about it, human-like, reducing human-like behavior and forbidding pornographic imagery. China also wants more thorough testing and development of AI products so that they do not endanger existing relationships or make users more antisocial. That's pretty good. Preventing a relationship with your work computer isn't just up to productivity or cut down to HR nightmares, and these dangers are hardly limited to China. The ELISA effect has been well documented since the 60s. People statistically form emotional bonds with anyone or anything that reaffirms them, including, if not especially, chatbots. Many AI companies instruct their products to provide relentless positive reinforcement, since any friction might drive potential customers away. The singular decision has unleashed a bizarre hell. Addiction issues, romantic disasters, abuse advice, and even violent incidents have begun spiking from overly dependent AI users. A big part of the sell in investors is how human-like these bots can be, even though their anthropomorphism is an overall farce. Throughout last year, the spate of quotes emerged online from what used to believe were mystical instructions from chatbots. Elsewhere, officials are still investigating the role of OpenAI played in a school shooting in British Columbia. The damage of overly familiar AI does not stop at just broken hearts. Wow, that's pretty intense. Yep. So yeah, we're there. China obviously being like the leading developers in artificial intelligence. Doesn't surprise me that they're like at that point. It honestly is only a matter of days before it happens here in California, or I mean in America. But in general, Silicon Valley and all that. But in general, like we'd have to assume that there's some laws in place, quote unquote, but at the same time, how can you really prevent someone from like just, you know, breaking, hacking, all that stuff? So we're already at the dangerous place where like the things that they want to stop us from doing is things that they should have thought of before fucking opening the floodgates. But that's what some dumbasses in orange do in the Oval Office these days. So I don't know. What do you think? Think you can ever fall in love with a robot that doesn't have any way of physically reapproaching that affinity? I don't know, man. That's rough. I'm a physical person. Physical touch is my language. But So is Fortnite, apparently, because Fortnite has started adding AI voices to its NPCs for an upcoming conversations feature. Voices will be used used in Gemini-powered conversation on user-created islands. All right. Epic Games has announced that it has now added consistent voices and personas to 36 existent Fortnite characters when they're used as NPCs, and says more will come over time. This means that if the character are encountered in creator-made islands in the game, they will now speak to the player in an AI-generated voice, and if the creator chooses to enable LM-powered NPCs. The main purpose for this is Epic's upcoming Conversations feature, which it plans to take out of its experimental phase at the end of the month and roll out from July 30th. When it rolls out, users who create Fortnite islands will be able to add their own AI-powered NPCs who can have real-time conversations with a player, powered by Google's Gemini's AI and 11 Labs' 11v3. I'm gonna open a window. I was about to just talk about the Darth Vader. That's window. Yeah, remind me to never do that again. Ow. That part. 36 skins now have AI voices. When announced in the Conversations feature back in April, Eric said instead of authorizing dialogue trees for characters in your islands, Conversations transforms an NPC into AI-powered character capable of unscripted dialogue and interaction with players like quest giver or narrator. Quote, you define who the character is with simple prompts, how they think and what they know, and how they behave, and then select the voice that matches their persona. On 36 characters reflected, all of which are original Fortnite characters, like Fish Sticks and all these people, 17 had their voices and personas locked down by Epic, so they sound and react in a way that you expect right out of the box. According to Epic, each character's AI voice is powered by performances captured from an independent professional voice actor specifically for use in developer-made islands. Quote, the actors agreed to have the performances used to develop voice models that create and spoke in responses for these LM-powered Fortnite characters. Our next step is to work with the relevant guilds and character voice actors who have previously worked in Fortnite Battle Royale and explore possible opportunities to make the original voices available across their ecosystem. Fortnite has experimented with AI voices in the past, mixed results. The game added Darth Vader chatbot during one of its sessions last year. This allowed players to interact with the character, who responded with the iconic voice of the late actor James Earl Jones. This naturally led to players trying to break the chatbot restrictions by tricking Vader into swearing or saying otherwise inappropriate things. Epic said Jones's AI-powered voice was used with permission from his family, but American Actors Labor Union SAG-AFTRA criticized the practice, arguing that the tools still took work away from other actors who could have voiced the character in his video game form, such as those who voiced Vader in previous games. Quote, it's not clear whether Epic's statement that its AI voices were supplied by independent professional actors meant that these actors aren't part of SAG-AFTRA or any other actors union. Wow. So a lot of stuff happening over there in Fortnite. Things keep on Things keep on changing. Full moons, am I right? Things keep on changing over there in the Fortnites, and apparently the AI revolution continues on and 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 on. So, thinking about that, wondering how they're gonna end up and if it's even worth it, man. Because again, this is gonna be added to the creative mode maps, which is like nothing to do with me, quote unquote. But who knows? Maybe they add these things into the battle royale or something, and we figure things out from there. But I don't know. Keep an eye on that. In case you were wondering why things get so expensive, it's for your Fortnite AI companions. And apparently for Eric Trump, because don't worry, it's not political. Eric Trump is building an army of humanoid robot soldiers. This is by Zach Kotzer over at Otaku. Oh, laugh all you want. When that breakdancing robot eats a mouthful of pavement, or when Robo Olaf short circuits and ruins Disneyland vacation. Get your licks in now, buddy, because one of Eric Trump's totally real robot army is up and running, and we'll see who gets the last laugh. EMP grenades. According to a report from Wired, a recent startup is building an army of to the future, specifically to the future of 1991's Terminator 2's Judgment Day. Future Foundation Industries is a company developing humanoid robots for combat, while military robots contracts are common and humanoid robots for combat. Overrun with a variety of certifying drones, what separates Foundation is that these killer bipeds are their flagship focus. The other distinctive element about Foundation is their chief strategy advisor, Eric Trump, son of Donald. Quote, people don't realize he's actually an engineer at heart, Foundation CEO Sam Pethick tells Wired. So he does a lot of milling and things like that at his home. Well, Trump told Fox News the company secured a $24 million contract. The contract from the Pentagon. Pethick is more cagey about whether his involvement has secured any specific funding from the White House. Humanoid androids make for good starlight covers and pirate rides. But robotics experts have long criticized the pursuit of human-shaped robotics. Replicating human walking and running patterns for a variety of terrain is notoriously difficult to engineer. The CEO contract is broken. MIT's Rodney Brooks tells Wired, we are likely a decade plus away from a bipedal robot that can safely navigate a door frame. Replacing human boots on the ground with metal ones may not be as effective as wheels, treads, or airborne drones. The juvenile pursuit of humanoid robots have long been a grievance for YouTube Angelina Collier, who bemoans the fantasy of robot waiters and janitors over the more purpose-built ketchup bottles or Roombas. As Collider illustrates, these pitches are usually little more than fishing for contracts and investments. People are familiar and captivated by robots as seen in film, and anything that closely matches those frictions deserves incredible scrutiny. It's a very Trump brand to pursue the most bombastic method, regardless of practicality. Ideally, we don't have any killer robots roaming around, regardless of legs. At the time of writing, we should be most concerned for the kids getting roundhouse kicked by automatons that weren't supposed to do that. The breakdancing one. Maybe that kid shouldn't have gone. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck. But hey, it's all good because the gaming industry is burning down through all the AI. Oh, well, let's talk about this. It's okay. So, kid wants to build a Terminator robot. Okay, cool. That's fine. Whatever. Fuck. But then he's using tax money from the Pentagon to build this robot, and then when the robots are built, then he's gonna sell them to ICE, and then when the ICE robots are built, then you won't have to feel bad about the blood. Moving on. Steam Machine engineers at the Valve still grim future as memory crisis is still getting worse. But hey, don't worry, robots exist. When will it end? This is by Michael Crape over at IGN. Steam Machine engineers at Valve has warned the ongoing memory crisis in tech is still getting worse as buyers face already exorbitant prices. Yazan Adrea and Pierre-Louis Grafis, two individuals who helped bring new gaming hardware to life, offered their perspectives on how the AI industry has influenced the high cost of RAM. During an interview with Bloomberg, in case you thought things were already bad enough, they've got an update. The months ahead aren't looking too good. Quote, honestly, it's still getting worse. Just in case some people are not aware, what people are seeing on the retail shelves right now from observations is lagging what we're seeing from a bulk supply at least 3 to 6 months. The Steam Machine launched with a price tag of this and 412 a model alone. Its most expensive option, the 2 terabyte version bundled with a controller, is a whopping about 15 grand, 1,500. Albeit said Valve had expected to run into some trouble when formally announced the device in November 2025, but not like this. Grafit went as far as to say that Valve had been building everything we can to get our hands on, adding the company had been limited by memory capacity, for sure. We knew we were going to have an issue with sourcing, but the extent was beyond anything we actually expected. Part of Valve's time during what had rapidly become a tumultuous period for tech has seen it struggling to keep up with the demands of the Steam Deck 2. The Half-Life company said it would, quote, love to make the Steam Machine more affordable, but warned that a price drop wouldn't arrive anytime soon. Valve is far from the only company to ring alarm bells when it comes to the memory crisis from the last few months. Micron CEO said he expected RAM shortages to last through 2027. Epic Games boss Tim Sweeney warned in late 2025 that high-end PC gamers would struggle with prices for several years, and Sony and Microsoft charge ever closer to the release of the next-gen gaming consoles. The former has said it's still deciding when and how to launch the PS6. Yeah. So, yeah. Congratulations, we have a new box that is absorbing all the RAM in the universe. But, yeah. What's really sad about this, honestly, this just looks like my fucking mini PC. It's crazy. What's really sad about this is that I think this is the second time they've been cucked like really bad because they released like a Steam Machine like years ago, right? But it also like underperformed because something happened in the industry. Yeah, that sucks for that, man. And it's not like a terrible. Oh shit! I could buy this. I could buy this and use this He says, "This is my gaming machine." And it's not like a terrible option either. It just doesn't feel like it has the power that it needs to run. I really think this is about as strong as like my personal mini PC, and my mini PC is about half of the size of this. But I'd be curious to see if like it connects or it has a RAM, yeah, like a RAM, like a graphics card extension capability. That might actually convince me, but still. So I don't know, man. It's rough. You better start like it's crappy to think that you either have a computer now or you have to quickly start choosing a side because things are gonna rapidly start imploding, and that sucks. That really sucks. It really feels like it's the end of an era. Pompeii is happening, baby. It's over. But in case you were worried about government, Saudi Arabians EA took over, reportedly set to clear EU hurdle. This is by Levy Winslow over at GameSpot.com. After announcing its $55 billion acquisition of EA in September 2025, the European Union is reportedly set to approve Saudi Arabia's public investment purchase at the end of July, according to new reporting from Reuters. As Reuters reported in July, people familiar with the deal said Saudi Arabia will secure the EU's approval under EU subsidiary rules. This means that right after EU completes the preliminary review under its foreign subsidiaries regulations on July 22nd, the purchase will personally be cleared to go through on July 30th. All told, the deal is expected to go with unconditional EU clearance under merger rules. FSR merger is meant to prevent non-European subsidiaries from distorting competition in the EU's internal markets. However, as Reuters reported earlier this month, FSR receives tons of criticisms that the regulation was too bureaucratic. Now, the FSR is essentially being moved aside by European commissions and the EU's competition enforcer, Saudi Arabia's PIF, is seemingly poised to acquire EA. Rumors that the deal swirled in 2025, which saw Saudi Arabia, PIF, the private equity firm Silver Lake, and Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners all involved in the purchase. Get here. Purchase. Well, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Wow, EA admitted in November 5 there's still risk of selling the Arabian company government will still maintain creative control going forward. Street Journal reported that the majority of EA's control would shift to Saudi. So everything go as planned. Reported sounds like it all wins. This acquisition, second largest gaming buy ever. Microsoft's billion acquisition, Activision Blizzard in 2023. Second largest gaming buyout ever after Microsoft's $75 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. And we all know how that ended. Regardless, Saudi Arabia getting closer to the video game industry is a choice. It makes sense technically because Saudi Arabia also has stakes or they own stocks of FIFA. So FIFA and soccer and EA kind of check out. So, wow. Also, isn't the World Cup tonight? Like the World Final Cup? Fascinating. Anyways, moving on to someone who also has hidden agendas. Xbox promises a third upcoming exclusive as it tries to explain confusing reversal. This is by Ethan Koch over at Kotaku. A couple years ago, Microsoft started making most of its first-party games multi-platform. Now it's taking some of those games, making them Xbox exclusive again. The whiplash between those two moves in only 24 months has left many fans confused and skeptical about just how committed the tech giant will stay in its latest shift in policy. Xbox is adamant that it's not just a temporary experiment. Quote, I can assure you, Gears of War and Clockwork Revolution are not the only titles we're planning. Xbox strategist told Games Radar, to grow a platform like ours, you have to have exclusive games and services. These are not going to be the only two titles. He added that these games were never coming to PS5, and quote, they are time exclusives for permanent ones, he said. What will new Xbox exclusive number 3 be? Well, Ball reaffirmed that Microsoft will start making large live service multiplayer games multi-platform going forward to reach as many players as possible. That doesn't mean non-multiplayer games will automatically be exclusive. Quote, we have the framework for 3 selections, including how we evaluate them, said Ball said. I recognize that this approach is not obvious to all of our players, and we are committed to making this clear. Chief Content Officer Matt Booty tries to elaborate. Quote, I wouldn't overly fixate on single player, he said. I think it's going to be a good rule of thumb, but I certainly isn't something that's carved in stone, Booty added. We are the stewards of over 20 game franchises that have made over $1 billion in your lifetime, and you haven't created any of them. You bought out Activision, you fucking hacking piece of shit. There are a lot of different games in our portfolio, and we still have to think about how different games we serve different purposes within it, end quote. Sounds a lot like the plan's the plan until it's not a plan, quote. Single-player games like Halo Campaign Evolved, Fables are still coming to PS5, the later which doesn't arrive until 2027, and the end of the Xbox CEO Ashwa Sharma first year. What's the deal there? We have titles that we have made a commitment to our partners and our players, and they were going to be multi-platform. Paul said, quote, we will be respecting this commitment. Booty added, quote, while we're looking to be nimble and it's fantastic to have the energy that's come with Asha's new leadership, we've got projects that have been in the works for a long time. We have hit the right balance between the work that the teams have invested in the strategy pivot, Xbox new line about needing exclusives to give players regions to, and Xbox is hard to argue with, but it's also spent multiple console generations losing ground with the full slate of exclusive first-party games. Still unclear how a trickle of exclusive games per year will succeed in reversing that trend when a boatload of them could not. It also limits the audience for those chosen first-party games at a time when Xbox studios are facing mass layoffs for releases and franchises that underperform. Quote, the number of players we can reach across PlayStation and Nintendo is absurd, so it's now really the time to pull games away from those platforms when they're not in the stores within Xbox told the game's radar. Quote, I hope it works, but I'm unconvinced. Damn. That's the shade right there, man, from within the walls. So yeah, Xbox being potato, pulling away games from PlayStation. It makes sense why they would do that because they're clearly losing a lot more money than they thought they would, make. But it's still kind of like I don't see any of this ever coming out. I don't see it ever being okay. You know what I mean? And that sucks. Again, we're just talking about how competition is good for people, and we've seen how Sony has like really lagged it in terms of like giving a shit about their customers and their players and all that stuff. But they don't have to. When people suck this bad, they really don't have to. So hey, Godspeed, my dude. Godspeed. Unless you're GameStop. I'm gonna fucking max out that credit card and not pay it. Because physical games are irrelevant to GameStop's business, says CEO Chris Compendito over at GameSpot. In a games industry that is increasingly shifting to digital, amplified by PlayStation phasing out physical game sticks starting in 2028, where does a brick-and-mortar chain like GameStop fit into this future? GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen appears to have no concern for this monumental shift whatsoever. When asked by Bloomberg about how Sony's digital policy would affect GameStop's business, Cohen responded, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all." End quote. While his this answer feels flippant and preposterous on the surface, the word "game" is the company's name after all. The company's financial reporting appears to support his stance that the potential decline of physical games, new and used, would impact GameStop. Quote, software, it mattered in the past. Software today makes up less than 12% of the business, and collectibles make up over half the business. So it's totally irrelevant, Cohen said. Yep, sounds about right. GameStop's stock price was largely unaffected by Sony's bombshell announcement about its plans to abandon physical media. In fact, the company's share price jumped up. Cool, because I have stocks in there. According to GameStop's financial reports, first quarter 2026, collectibles such as Pokemon cards made up 41.8% of the company's total revenue, with hardware accessories making up nearly 40% of its revenue. Gaming software is by far the smallest portion of GameStop's business today. Bloomberg also bought up Rockstar's plans for Grand Theft Auto 6 this list release, having no resale value for retail like GameStop. Cohen pivoted the conversation hard, saying he wanted to, quote, go back and talk about eBay, referring to his ongoing push to acquire the famous online marketplace, and turned a combined eBay GameStop entity to a $1 trillion business. How Cohen hopes to achieve such feats is unclear. What is clear, however, is Cohen's apathy towards a medium that built GameStop business in the first place. So yeah, there's that. Also, eBay said they weren't interested in the bid, so like they even laughed at the guy. So I don't even know what this fool is smoking at this point. But hey, it makes sense, right? They fucking sold out. They started selling Pokemon cards, and that's all they're really known for now. It's really sad. GameStop used to be like a beacon of like it used to be a library of video games, and now it's just filled to the brim with fucking cheap ass plastic. But hey, that's the way it goes, man. And yeah, I don't know. I have a GameStop credit card. Like I'm just gonna go there, pre-order the bullshit that I want, and then get out and call it a day. It just is it's fine. I understand. Like it's for next generation. Some kids gonna go into that store and GameStop is gonna be this brand new thing for him. But like for me, someone that remembers going into this building and then the walls being stuffed with like game cases and different like games and like consoles and stuff, that will never be replaced in my brain. So all things come to an end. Godspeed. Because A24 addresses copyright strikes on Backrooms fan art after director Kane Parsons promises to investigate. This is by Virginia Glaze. A24 has issued a statement clarifying numerous takedowns notices filed on behalf of its brand after Backrooms director Kane Parsons promised he'd investigate. A24 published their statement via Instagram on July 14th, just 2 days after Parsons responded to a Reddit post from a user claiming their wallpaper pattern had been pulled from Redbubble over copyright infringement. As Kane Parsons has made clear, Backrooms is one part of an infinitely bigger ecosystem, rife with creatives who have every right to tell their own version of their story, they wrote. Quote, yesterday we were made aware of an automated claim submitted to Redbubble on behalf of A24 and Backrooms Movie. We immediately began the process to reverse it and reinstate the listings. A24 makes no claim of ownership over the yellow paper and original post referencing it or any of the community works that have since been built around it. We will continue to support the artists who like and Kane were inspired by it. This marks the end of a frustrated saga for affected Backrooms fans who saw all manners of works restricted due to these automated copyright claims. One indie developer stated that Backrooms-inspired game had been pulled from the Google Play Store due to the issue, while others had artworks of liminal office spaces taken down by Redbubble on behalf of A24 LLC. Parsons has previously promised to look into these issues both on Reddit and Discord server. Recent messages shows Parsons surmising that the cause of these takedown notices was likely the result of confusion and poor communication internally as a third-party system error in regards to the Redbubble items. The notices on different platforms says were seemingly just coincidences and bad timing. Stated that he does not believe the matter points to the narrative that A24 is going on a copyright spree. End quote. Quote, they're very much on the side of the community over here, he wrote. They have been insistent since day one on keeping the community protected as it always has been. End quote. Parsons' Backroom film was big at its office, earning $37 million against a $10 million budget. 8 out of 10. Kane Parsons blends superb visuals and excellent characterizations with Lord Backrooms create a terrifying and thrilling big screen debut for a liminal horror classic. Very nice. But crazy too, no? Like the thing that pisses me off most about like YouTube and its copyright system is that like it's very analytical. It's very anal. It's like I at this point in the universe, I'd have to assume that there's an AI model that can go through like any movie, right? And it absorbs that movie and it searches for any clip of that on your video, and then it flags it and it goes like, "Oh, you can't be monetized," or not that I do monetization, but you know the whole point. It's like, "Oh, you can't. Oh, this is copyright." Oh. And it's so stupid because stuff like this, that an open source project, quote unquote, goes around, or someone like A24, for example, someone within the company of A24, whether it be a lawyer, whether it be a fucking some dumbass CEO piece of shit, goes around creating an AI model that starts flagging everything around, and it may not seem like a big deal, right? It's like the back rooms or whatever. It's whatever. But the idea that a fucking company can go around bitching about like, oh, you're copyrighted. You can no longer you can no longer view this as restricted because they want to, just because for the simple act of wanting to fucking hoard everything and claim everything or make a fucking profit about something is the worst disappointment that we're at. Yeah, baby. So that's where we end with that one. I'm gonna leave it there with that. I do believe that it's cool that Pearson is standing up and being like, "Hey, man, we should look into this because that's not cool. It's like an open source thing. No one at the fucking A24 created Backroom, so you guys can fucking stop being stupid ass pieces of shits and get off their fucking potato high horse." Honestly, shit like that is fucking retarded, and it pissed me the fuck off. And the fact that it's normalized by stuff like YouTube and stupid ass fucking CEOs that want to create their revenues is what pisses me off the most. Just let the fucking art exist, and thank God there's still people who are standing up for it. So hey, that is where we end with that. So, kind of a lot going on, don't you think? More and more, it just feels like we're barreling towards a digital future, and we have nobody that understands what that is. Nobody in power, nobody who's out there making the right decisions that understands what these choices mean for humanity. And that's incredibly disappointing because it means that the voters become apathetic as they come to realize that no matter what they vote for, the fucking fossils in office won't understand or consider what it is that we're trying to express. So it's very dangerous, man. It's very dangerous to just sit on your laurels and pretend that everything's okay when you have a whole community tell you that you need to get your shit together. But here we are, and here we stay. And I hope that for some grand purpose in the universe, that you enjoy that. And it meant something, and we learned something, and that we move on today. Alright, so we're approaching on that time limit. I'm going to say 12:30 is a good spot to be running. So, hey, gonna bring back our friend from the nether realms. I'm gonna say hi, and we're gonna have a good time. Chotomate. Close that window so we have maximum acoustics in the room. Have to get that guy up here. Bueno. Sunday fun day. My kid turns 20, no, 33? 33, 34. I'll have to ask him later. So, hey, you never know. Life moves on. And if that means we have to share the universe with robotic beings, then I would hope we get along. At the very least. What if? What about the ghost in the shell?
Look pretty as
Damn it, woman! Look. Mama knows. Is that it? Is that it? We good? I never said I'd lie and wait for her. If I did, we'd be together. know it's just forget her, but she can try. At the end of the world, that's the last thing I see. Never coming home, never coming home. Should I? And all the things that you never told me, and all the smiles that I ever get the feeling that you're never all alone. And I remember now, at the top of my lungs and lungs, she dies, she dies. At the end of the world, that's the last thing I see. You're never coming home, never coming home. Should I? And all the things that you never told me, and all the smiles that are never gonna catch me. Coming home, never coming home. Should I? Should I? And all the wounds that are never gonna scar me, and all the ghosts that are never gonna catch me. If I fall, if I fall down, whoa, oh, 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 that's the last thing I see. You are never coming home, never coming home, never coming home, never coming home. And all the things that you never told me, and all the smiles that are never gonna help me. Never coming home, never coming home. Should I? And all the wounds that are never gonna scar me, for all the ghosts that are never gonna. Went too far. Not like that. Vamos, pues. Pacifico, baby. Saigon. I gotta go party. Gotta buy beer. Yeah, you've been alone. Been gone for far too long. But for the thought that we've been through, after all this time I'm coming home to you. Never let it show the pain I've grown to know. 'Cause with all these things we do, don't matter when I'm coming home to reach towards the sky. I've said my goodbyes, my heart's always with you now. I won't question why so many have died. My prayers have made it through, yeah. 'Cause with all these things we do, it don't matter when I'm coming home to you. Yeah, let us give me one. Help me through the storm. With all these things we do, After all this time, I'm coming home to reach towards the sky. I said my goodbyes, my heart's always with you now. I won't question why so many have died. My prayers have made it through you. All these things we do, don't matter when I'm coming home to you. I've always been true. I've waited so long just to come home to you. Making it through. It's been far too long. We've proven our love over time, so strong in all that we do. The stars in the night, they let me live to bring me closer to heaven with you. Reach for the sky, I said my goodbyes, my best always with you now. I won't question why so many have died. My prayers have made it through you. Just all these things we do. I'm coming home. All this we've been through. All this time I'm coming home to you.
Only Cascade Platinum Plus.
Just like that, baby. Just like that. I fucking hate you too. Yosh. Bueno. If that wasn't cool enough, bueno. Maybe you should find a refrigerator. But my time here is done. Thank you all for being cool. Thank you all for vibing. Thank you for being born. And hydrate. Get some sunscreen. And I'll catch you all in the future. But until then, thanks for watching. Ciao. Matane. Ah.